we're now
Okay,
in the
here we
spiel.
go.
We've left the pure pre-spiel.
Now we're in the real spiel.
Here,
Okay.
Oh,
Main
thanks.
spiel. Okay, so again, Hitch Rich is gonna go through with you any of the hitching and all that stuff. I'm basically from here. This is your power tongue back. So this is your light switch, and this is your retract, your extend.
Wait, which light?
Wait,
Oh,
say
that
it
light right there.
Yeah.
Light
There's
just
a
so you
light.
can
It's
see
hard
what
to
we're
see
It's hard to
because
see
the
because of the
sun.
sun.
But that's
Okay.
just so you see we're doing if it's nighttime.
See what you're doing.
Yeah, that's
And then you
helpful.
can have your front cap and cap lights on.
Okay.
So
And what? Oh, he's gonna go over all that. All right.
yeah, he'll go. But basically, this is what's going to get you up and down. This is going to level you front to back too. So when you get to the campground, the first thing you do is level out. This is going to level you front to back, and then you'll get wheel. There's different systems, but you can get leveling for your tires from side to side, and it's a good idea to get even some little levels. You could put it in the compartment if you don't want it here, but it's good to do one on this side for the leveling side to side, and then this one for the leveling
gonna ask
front
about
to
that.
back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just stick right on there, or you can even, like I said, hide them inside the
Yeah.
compartment somewhere or something, just to make it easier
Right.
when you're leveling out. This is your propane. So this lever will point to which one you want to use. It's a good idea to get, you can get like a propane leveling indicator, where you can read it. And that's something you want to think about. I recommend, especially with a new camper, what you do is you actually close one bottle, okay? Put the lever indicator to that side.
So the one you just turned is closed now.
This is closed now.
Gotcha, okay.
Okay. So you're gonna run from one bottle to start with, and you're gonna you'll know pretty much how long it takes you to get through this bottle, right? So now you kind of know how long it takes you to get through this bottle. If you leave them both open, you're gonna run unevenly, and you never kind of really know where you're at. So without any kind of additional propane level system indicator, you want to just keep one open and one closed.
Okay.
Do that kind of system. I'm gonna leave them both open just because we're still testing and everything.
Okay.
But does that make sense?
Yep.
Then
Yep.
it gives you're a lot less likely to run out of nowhere. You know a little bit more where you're at with that. This is the cover that goes over the propane tank. These little guys screw up and down, and then you open it. So you have a little window to get in there. You don't have to take it off every time.
And it just slips
There's
right
a
over.
little, it slips right over, and then there's a little bungee underneath.
Is that
You can hook it.
will that take a 30-pound tank if we wanted to?
No.
Right? No. Okay.
No, we do have those
Just
if you ever
curious.
wanted to upgrade.
That's all right. This will be fine. We can always carry an extra in the truck or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bungee's going around through here.
Yeah, the bungee will go underneath and then hook in those
Inside.
two little tabs. Okay.
What, I'm sorry. Where are the tabs underneath there? Ah. Okay.
Yeah. Then you
All
hook
right.
the little bungee
Got it. Okay.
So it goes underneath this.
through there.
Oh, and that's the bungee that you're holding in your
Yeah.
hand. Okay. Got
That's
it.
it.
Okay. Oh, this is your house battery. It's a standard deep cycle marine battery. They are water filled. So probably once a year, once every 2 years, you tube it just so you see exactly with your model battery. Top it off with a little bit of distilled. Must be distilled, not tap water. Top that battery off. It's gonna increase the life. We've got what's called AGM batteries. It's a lot better of a battery. You can upgrade. But if you want to make this battery last a little bit longer, top off the water on those. A lot of times people just let them run dry, they neglect them. And they last a year or two, and that's that. So don't be afraid. Like I said, look at your actual model of your battery, YouTube it, watch how to top those off, and it'll last a lot longer.
Now, how long will this battery power our stuff in there? I know it depends on what we do, but
It does.
like if we wanted to keep the fridge on while we're driving, let's start with that.
Okay, you know what?
Oh no, it switches to propane, doesn't it?
Yeah.
While you're driving,
Yeah.
and we can drive with one of these open? That's all right?
Okay, so here's the thing. I kind of like to go in order just because I don't want to miss anything.
Sure,
I
sure.
kind of failed. I usually mention that, and I forgot to. And it's, I'm not trying to be particular.
No,
I
that's
just don't
okay.
want to forget anything.
That's fine. That's fine. We can come back around to it.
And yeah, the fridge is like a whole other story.
We'll get to that.
And I won't.
Okay.
I won't forget. I
Yeah.
promise. But as far as the battery goes, I want you to know that when you're plugged into your truck, you're getting a trickle charge from the alternator of your vehicle. When you're plugged in at a campground with shore power, that's also going to trickle charge your battery.
Okay.
Keep you going. Over here on the side, there's a little outlet, and this is for solar.
Okay.
So you could get solar panels installed and get everything hardwired and you don't ever see any of it. Or say you're going to Arizona for the week or something. It's a portable solar table that basically sits on a tripod.
Yeah.
It sits out here and you plug it right in here
Yeah, I've
for a
seen those.
portable solar table.
Okay.
So you just want to use it sometime. You don't always need the solar. Now that's going to trickle charge your battery. That's not going to run everything. That'll keep your battery
Kind of
trickle
topped off.
charged. Yes. So during the winter time, it's best to pull them off and store it. You don't want them to freeze. So put it in your garage or your
What,
shed.
the battery?
The battery.
The battery. Yes.
And,
So-
okay. Is there like a disconnect, kind of like if it was on, is there a disconnect in there? Battery disconnect, I should say.
Yes. And we will talk about it.
Oh, and when we get there. Okay, got it.
No, it's right here. Usually it's on the other side. So no, your battery disconnect is right here.
Okay.
So you could, if you're in, are you at an inside storage?
No, we're in outside. But if we were at some point, or if we were in, better.
Yeah, or in
environment.
the summertime, there's a lot of reasons to use that disconnect. Say you just want to go get ice cream for 5 minutes, and you're solely on battery power, and you want to watch every single.
Yeah.
Come out here
yeah.
and just turn it off.
Which one's the disconnect?
That's the red
This
one.
one.
red
You
one?
push it
Okay.
in and twist, and there's that little metal pin.
All right.
So when that's in, that completes the circuit.
Oh, okay. And when it's
Pull
out,
it out, you're
it's
disconnected.
disconnected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
I like that they have a little thing on there to make sure you don't lose it.
Don't lose it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So also, those can gas off a little bit. So if you do pull it off for storage, shed, garage, not in the basement.
The battery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs to be ventilated.
Okay.
And then it's not a bad idea. You don't need to leave it on all the time, but it's a good idea to have like a battery maintainer or a battery tender. You don't want to let it just die. You never want to let that battery die completely.
Okay.
It's going to shorten the life of it.
If it just sits out, because we're gonna be in storage for a while.
So when we get to the storage, we take that off.
Yeah, I mean, how long will it sit with some kind of charge in it?
I mean, if you've got absolutely no pull on it,
Yeah.
and it's a brand new battery, it should be fine.
Okay. It is a brand new battery, right?
It is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and it's just the strap you take off, and then you just take.
And then the
thing out.
connections inside are there?
Yeah.
So it's just like a truck or a car battery.
Oh, yeah.
Pull it out.
Yep. And then it's got
Sorry.
these little
Okay.
shrouds over it, so it doesn't
Right.
get wet.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's on my battery spiel. Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Do you guys have any questions about anything so far?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm trying not to interrupt. So.
Oh, no.
I'm putting
Ask-
questions here so we don't,
Extra
so we
batteries.
don't. Yeah.
No. No, we can address any questions right away. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
want to. I just don't like getting off track because I'll
Right,
forget.
right.
And then,
No,
I
and
just
then we'll
don't want to
miss something.
forget,
I don't wanna do
especially
that.
because
Yeah.
it's like your guys' first time.
Right.
I want to make sure I cover all my bases.
I appreciate that.
So we talked about your leveling. So you're leveling front to back, and then you put down your stabilizing decks. Okay. Now, this is your handy dandy marshmallow roaster, because
Because that's what we're going to use it
most likely
for.
will not. Yeah, that's what you'll use it for. It is. It is for your stabilizing jacks.
Yeah.
What most people do is get a 3/4 nut driver, put it on a power drill.
Yeah, that's on our
Definitely
list.
doing
Yeah,
that.
I believe, and I will jump back on myself. Underneath, I'm not going to undo it and everything. Underneath this rubber cap, there's a little rubber cap in there. There's an override in case you should ever lose power. And I believe that's the same 3/4.
Oh, okay, great.
90% sure that model is. So,
Now, would
No.
those? I'm sorry, I
No,
asked
no,
one
no,
question
no,
since
no,
it's
no.
about the stabilizing jack. The stabilizing jack is not for leveling; it's just for stabilizing, right?
yes. You want to make sure you are level first and then
And
stabilize.
then stabilize.
Level,
You don't,
Okay.
Yes.
We're not trying to level with the stabilizer.
No, no.
Because they don't do that.
That would be bad.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
it.
you're exactly right. And now we've actually had the debate back and forth about 1,000 times. Should the slides be in or out before we stabilize? So we had an interesting conversation. One of our sales managers, Dave Robinson, called on the phone while we're out here doing a training on one of those huge motorhomes. And he called the guy that builds the motorhomes and he says, "Tell me, what's the definitive answer to this question?" And he said, "It does not matter. It really,
really?
doesn't matter." You always, if you're on even ground, you're fine. Slides are out, jacks are up, it's totally fine. And I'll tell you, there's two arguments behind it. The stabilizing is you want down to stabilize so you don't tip or anything. But then there's also the argument of, well, you want to stabilize to the weight it's going to be at, right? So
Oh,
you
I
put the
gotcha.
slide out and then stabilize. You guys seem like very intelligent people. Use your common sense. If you're at a steep angle or something, maybe have the jacks down before you put the slides out. Or, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it does not matter.
Okay.
That's-
All right.
Always get that question, and that's the answer to that. So, and that's your stabilizers,
I'm up to school
basically.
to stabilize first.
Okay.
I don't want to risk
I don't have an opinion yet, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll change it at some point.
Yeah.
And you know
we
what?
may-
That's the school I've been behind all this time. Is you would stabilize first, so
and
you
then put the slide out.
you
yeah.
know don't lean or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. So, anyways, this will be closed.
Oh, okay. That's the panel that
We
goes.
pull that down so we can show you
Okay.
your pump, your water pump's in there. This hose hanging off the side is going to be your winterizing for winterizing. There's some instructions here, and we're going to do it for you today. It's part of the. It's in the.
And we get to
included in
watch,
the
right?
deal.
Yes.
You do not get to watch.
don't get to watch.
Unfortunately, no. No, that'll be getting done while you're finishing up your paperwork and everything. It's a really easy process.
All
We'll
right,
make
well,
sure that's up there.
Maybe just kind of I guess talk about the process a little bit. Is that? I mean, I've looked at some videos, but
So it's different on every single unit, so it's hard for me to memorize. But basically, the idea of it is you drain your tanks, you let all the water out. You have your city water connection. You hook up a special, like a regulator thing with air. You blow the air if you have a compressor or something like that.
Okay.
Blow the air all out of the lines. Then you close everything up. Then you fill the drains with antifreeze, and then cover
Using
the
that-
faucets.
that-
Yes. So this hose,
hose.
is basically you're gonna use this hose to pump antifreeze out of like a gallon jug. You
Okay,
turn the
so you
water
stick
pump.
that in
This
the
is
jug.
gonna suck through all your lines and everything like
Okay,
that.
well that's nice that we don't have
Yeah.
to like do a whole lot to find this. It's
No,
right
no,
here.
no. It's really easy, and then that usually just sticks out like that when they put the panel on, so you know what that's for. Like, what's this crazy hose sticking out?
That's great.
And then yeah.
Accessible.
And there's some like instructions right there. Just
Okay.
Everyone is a little bit different, but you'll turn this level. What you do is you bypass your hot water heater. Is an important part of the process because you don't want to fill
Let me just
6 gallons of
Real quick.
antifreeze. So you empty
so
your.
that-
ooh, you-
sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Just so we have it.
Oh no, please.
So basically just follow the instructions.
Yeah, empty the water, blow out the lines, fill it with antifreeze.
Sanitizing is when you're de-winterizing, right? 'Cause
Get all the.
We want to get the freon
It's-
out.
And you know what? It's you don't want to directly ingest it, but it is potable antifreeze. It's just propylene glycol. It's in cosmetics. It's in
It's not-
frosting sometimes. I mean, it's
not that we
it's-
want it, but
You
it's
don't want to directly ingest it, but it's
No.
not. It's
It won't
chlorine
kill
water mix. There'll be somewhere what the mix is written down somewhere.
for sanitizing. Yeah.
okay.
Grand Design. You actually have an incredible manual. Not all of
Oh.
these come with good manuals.
Okay.
You have a nice good manual with like a lot of pictures and really
That's
good,
good. That's
explanations of everything. So
Okay.
I know it's a lot. It's a lot.
That's all right, as long as we know where to find the information.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh, and that's it. Even we have to take these quizzes every week, and that's what my trainer he says. You know, I know you're not going to always know all this stuff. What I want to know is you know how to find the information
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
need it.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
Okay. So and then that's what I was going to write down. Just to put the water pump panel back up. Okay. So your water pump is down here too. They're okay, the ones that, you know, come with it. You could always upgrade that. If you know if you're really not liking the water pressure, you can upgrade that to a much higher gallons per minute.
That's the little pump right
Yeah.
there. That's going to pressurize the whole thing?
The water pump is what gets the water to your faucets if you're doing what's called dry camping.
Uh-huh.
If you're
Oh, I see. The pressure behind.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So when you're on city water,
Yeah.
it's their
Their
water
pressure.
pressure
I see.
that comes in.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
And that's where we have to actually bump it down a little bit with the pressure regulator.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
She's
Yeah. Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
That's why I'm letting her ask the
Yep.
questions.
And that it is. It's one of the things on the list too. It's very important. I will recommend to you to actually end up getting 2 of them. They're only
Okay.
a couple bucks. I'll tell you.
Actually, I think we are
the other
getting
one
2.
is for the
we are
black
getting
tank
There's one that
flush.
comes in the starter kit, and then I think we're
Yeah.
ordering another one.
Yeah, one you'll want to use specifically for your black tank flush, which we'll talk to. We'll talk about that in a minute. You don't ever want to mix them.
Good
Yes.
point.
So while
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't want it. Ooh.
No.
All right.
so while we're on water, this is your gravity fill. Okay, so this is going to fill your tank, your freshwater tank. You use the water pump to get to your system. I'm going to tell you right now, you can put a few drops of bleach in there. We do
Okay.
have all kinds of treatments and all kinds of things. It's going to keep it fresher, longer. You know, you don't want it sitting in there just getting stagnant.
Yeah.
Most people don't drink it unless you have a few water filters, which you could always do. I would say the more filtering, obviously, the more, you know, you can get an inline one. But other than it, it's mostly dishes, showers, what people do.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's, even in our drinking water at home, you can smell the chlorine. So don't be afraid to use a few drops of bleach. So this, say you have a garden hose, you can just stick it right in there and it just sits there and it will fill. Don't travel with a full tank.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
need all that. Third of a tank to use your facilities as you're traveling. That's a lot of weight to just, you know.
Yeah, to be carrying around.
Yeah. Exchange it every few days if you're out there for a while.
How
Okay.
will we know we got a third of a tank? Is there some meter?
There,
Inside.
inside
It's
there's
inside
levels.
showing.
Yep. So this is, like I said, this is the gravity fill right to your tank. If you need, say you're out there and for some reason you need to put one of those big gallon jugs and you need to get it in here. You get a little adapter for the end and you just pour it right in. Okay. Now your city water would be impossible. You can't pour anything in there. You need to be hooked up to an actual
Okay.
hose. Okay. I've seen water pressure regulators here. I've seen them at the spigot. I guess there's really no definitive answer to that one either. Just make sure you have it before it gets into the unit.
If it fits
right?
in here, we probably would want it here.
A lot of people sometimes put like a 90-degree, like an adapter here.
Yeah.
So they'll have the adapter here, so it's easier to get on and off every time,
Right.
and then put the regulator at the end. That's just how some people do it. So if you're staying on city water and you're using their pressure to bring the water into the unit, you're on city water. Now, this has a nice, not everybody has this option. So what's nice about this one is you can use the hooked on hose to fill your tank as well. Switch this valve before you put the hose on there. Don't switch it with the pressure. But you switch, now if you have it to fresh tank, you can fill it with this. You don't only have to fill your tank with this. So it's just a nice, not every unit has that
So we got
option.
two
So you have that
options.
option, yeah.
That's
So if we have a hose, garden hose, we can just flip it up, do that, and fill the tank. Or
Yep.
Whatever, how much.
Yep. And then again, here's on city water.
That's a nice.
You're bringing their
nice-
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, so up here, we've got your outlet. It doesn't have a sticker, but all the outside ones are all GFCI protected. So if these trip, the reset button, they don't have their own. There's one in the bathroom. Sometimes it's the kitchen one, depending,
Okay. And this is
just
just
in
like
case. So you're
downline
not
from it.
searching. It's either in the kitchen or the bathroom. So it's. Oh, this one you're probably all on the same circuit, so you're going to be in the bathroom. I'm almost positive. But
Okay.
anyway, that's so you're not searching around. Why
Yeah,
is my
yeah.
power not working? Reset it inside. This is your cable and satellite hookups. So if you wanted to go satellite, you could always get, again, installed, hardwired, not see any of that. Or you got what's like a tailgater, and it just kind of comes around with you. You can bring it elsewhere, and that sits out here, and you can plug it in there. Or if you're at a campground that offers cable,
First
coax.
one, the camp we were going to has cable.
Ah,
Yep.
right. Okay.
So
I saw that.
That's where you would plug that in right there. You do have an antenna to start with. That's going to get you like your local stations. So you're not with nothing starting out. And there's no cranking up and down or anything. So you don't even ever have to worry about that. When we go inside, I'll show you how to find your channels.
So the aux says aux/bedroom. What is aux? Is that like where you set it up outside or something, or?
Well, that's auxiliary. That just basically means like another one. So that's going to go to your...
Is that like if you put it
That's for
outside
your
or
bedroom.
something?
I don't think it's for an outside
Oh,
one. I
okay.
think you have another
Okay.
one on the other side for that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
These are generally inputs, and then the outputs would be on the campsite, so you can have your TV.
Yeah,
out
that would
there.
be good.
So,
Okay.
We talked about your battery disconnect. This is your outdoor shower. It's got quick connect hose.
Okay.
you familiar
Can
with
you
the
show
Quick
us how the
Connect?
Quick Connect works?
No, I'll show you.
You pull it and
Yeah, it pushes in, and then you kind of pull that
Pull the thing out.
pull that guy out, and then push it back in just to make sure it's in there.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's so
A lot of the new mic
simple.
stands have that now.
Ah.
So then you can even get a longer one of these or whatever. This is nice for, sand on the feet, kids, pets, visitors, relatives,
Yeah.
whatever you've got. It's also in a really good spot. Or even if you wanted to get like a longer one. It's a pretty good spot though for your,
Yeah. If you have a
if you have
messy
any
situation.
sewer situations,
Yes.
even to rinse your hands really fast.
Yes.
Your gloves, rinse your gloves really fast. Or get anything off the ground.
Okay.
And then to get it out, you just push that back and pull.
Yep.
Okay.
Little guy right there. Hot, cold. Now, generally any connections, you want to have running up and in, and so you can have that down.
Yeah,
It looks a lot
yeah.
nicer. These
More
little,
secure too.
it is. These little fingers in here will bend
Oh,
as you
okay.
put stuff in and out of it.
So we can put multiple, like we can put this and like a garden and
Oh,
the
yeah.
hose?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So it'll fit. All right.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to crack or break anything.
No, they're meant to bend. The thing is as they do, you need to compensate and fill the space. Why they're even there is just to kind of help fill the space, because while you're out in nature, mice might want to, and they want to climb the hoses and find a nice warm spot to go. So, what you do is any empty spaces that kind of form themselves in there around the hoses, you're like some people say steel wool.
Yeah.
Some people say, Irish Spring soap cut up in a nylon stocking and you put it there.
Really?
Some people say SOS pads because you get the steel wool and the soap. So just be mindful of you know, any little opening spaces there.
Okay.
Where's your light? Up here you have
Sorry.
oh no.
Let's take a little.
Okay, that's
That's
your
it.
light and that's your switch.
Okay.
So this light has a motion sensor on it. So if you look at the switch, down there's one line. There's one line.
sorry.
0 and then 2 lines. If you're on one line, it's just on.
Okay.
If you're up here at 2 lines, that's gonna kick the motion sense. So it'll shut itself off after a few minutes and only turn itself on when you open this and make motion.
Okay.
So I usually will try to remember to turn everything off before you guys go, just so there's nothing
Okay,
on
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're not aware of. For obviously bad reasons. But yeah, it's a really nice feature.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. This guy right here, we could even get right in on that because I'll tell you, and I tell most people, like, take a picture of it, have some sort of record of it, in case it fades or peels, or if you need that information and you're not with the unit, you know what I mean? So then you have it on
I think we already
video.
have that, but I'll
Just in case.
picture it too.
Not a bad idea.